Hey, what's up guys, Davis here. Where do I start? It's been such a long journey, I don't even know where to start from. Took us about 8 months and it was supposed to be finished by now, but still in the prototype stage. I'm going to explain to you why it took us so long. This long anticipated G87 M2 bumper from Adro. We first kicked off this project on February this year, 2024. We went into serious stages. We had our 3D printed bumper all engineered, ready to go. We put it on the car and we didn't like it. That was summer already, but now it's almost winter, it's freezing. So here it is, the long anticipated G87 M2 bumper. 3D printed prototype. Of course, it's not the production yet, but I'm gonna give you a glimpse of what we changed from the G87 M2. Trust me, it was like the most hardest project that I've ever worked on at Adro. And I'll tell you why. First of all, biggest challenge that I had was the curvature of the hood. If you remember from my previous post, the original G87 M2 hood was even higher than, the bumper was even higher than the hood, so the curvature was completely gone. And then we had to fix it to let the curvature flow to the bumper. And at the same time, we realized when we took the bumper off, there's this little piece under the headlamp which we could not alter. So we had to become really creative to give the headlamp shape a bit more aggressive look than how it is right now, how it is on the G87 M2. And this is what we came up with. We have a little piece that blocks the empty area of the lamp, and then this body which follows the line of this little plastic piece and still makes it look aggressive. Second thing that we did was, of course, there's a lot of talks about the grille. The grille was always squarish and people didn't like the Lego look of it. So we wanted to give the F-body, what would an F-body F87 M2 look like in the present modern age? I think, to be fair, I really appreciate that BMW is doing a lot of attempts with different designs, but there's certain kind of heritage that could have been kept, which for me is the grille. So we came back with the vertical BMW grills, and I still believe it can still look aggressive without having to change the heritage completely out of the box. So what we did was we made the grille bigger. Of course, F-body chassis looks small now because all the grills has become humongous, so we wanted to keep the bigger shape grille, but at the same time not destroy the heritage of the BMW. We gave a lot of shape to this vertical fin, so it's not just flat. It has a shape that comes from the top, a little bit like the M5 CS style, and then it tucks in under to give it that shark nose look from the side. So it's not just a flat surface, but it looks very aggressive, bringing back the shark nose theme of the BMW. The second thing, after working on the headlamps, on the grille area, the bottom part, wanted to give that really aggressive 2002 homage concept feel to the bottom. A lot of people call it the snowplow, but I personally think it's amazing. So wanted to give that huge center air duct feeling to the car, which starts off from the bottom of the grille and it comes down, but it doesn't just come down, it protrudes a lot from the side. So it gives it a very aggressive look from the front, and also it gives a very aggressive look from the side because this part is way further out than the top. And to kind of balance that out, I had to design this vertical fin that holds it from the side so that the center doesn't just come all the way out, but it also holds from the side. So that was our bumper. Version 2, actually. We spent about $15,000. We blew it up in the air because our first prototype wasn't good enough. So if you look at this, it's here, it's all broken into pieces. So after clay modeling, we put it on the car, and a couple things that I really hated was that the biggest thing was I tried to keep the body color under the grille like the current G87 M2, and it actually ended up making the grille look too small. And also these lines were very round, which I didn't like. Didn't give that aggressive look to it. So if you see here, there's tapes all over the place.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's how I do it. We spent about $50,000 with all the design, engineering, prototype, 3D printing a whole bumper, everything. And little subtle changes, but we had to go through the whole surface to change everything. So yes, this is our final version. Okay, so what's the biggest difference between the G87 M2 OEM bumper versus the Adro bumper? For me, the biggest difference is, first of all, the shape of the headlamps. This one does a more natural angle to the headlamp, allowing the undercut to go all the way through and giving it that aggressive look. And if you look at the G87 original bumper, they have forced this area to make the front square shape. And what they sacrificed from it was they got this huge chamfer that goes around the headlamp, leaving a very little 3D dimensional snout. Now, snout is usually the side of the nose. Car manufacturers use the snout to give a bit more 3D shape to the grille. And this one has completely lost it because they were so fixated on making the headlamp square. So there's no shape around the grille. We fixed that. We got rid of those huge chamfers and gave this a nice 3-dimensional shape to the grille so that the grille is the most pronounced area of the car. For me, grille is like the soul of a manufacturer, like each brand. The grille has to make it look like its brand. For me, it kind of failed in that sense. So giving that headlamps more aggressive look. Also the bottom, I think the OEM bumper was also, the design was very fixated on the square theme, making the sides the most pronounced area of a face. It just pops too much that the center of the car is completely dead. And now a lot of people say, oh, with some aftermarket mods, this G87 M2 looks great. Yeah, because they put a front lip on the center and they paint the center to make the jawless front, giving it some jaw. This one OEM completely has no jaw, because it's black. It's also more inboard than the side, and there's no lip to support it. I mean, the lip, carbon lip or plastic lip, whatever, can help, but fundamentally for me, it's wrong. The chin is not there. So what we did on this grille was to actually even pronounce the chin even more than the grille. So giving it that beard or chin feeling to the car, which
manly and strong.
Exactly, it gives it more aggressive, manly, strong feeling to the car. Also, not to mention, we'll come out with a carbon lip, which protrudes even further. So in real life, it gives that a very aggressive look to it. Unfortunately, we have the Adro grille on here, but the OEM, the grille was inboard, revealing a lot of the body color, and it was horizontal, which to me, I think horizontal grille is fine. But in terms of heritage, I always thought BMW was always about the vertical grilles, vertical kidney grilles. So we wanted to implement the vertical grilles into our Adro G87 M2 bumper. Another really weird area for me on the G87 M2 is that this edge that goes around the emblem, it's very regional. Like, this edge doesn't know where to go, so they just kind of wrapped it around the emblem, which looks very, I don't know how to say it. It doesn't even go to the hood. It doesn't go straight. It's just kind of, it's like a little island of its own. And I thought that was really strange. But yes, it is a trend these days to emphasize the grille, so now they don't put it on a flat shape. So we try to emphasize it in a different way to give an edge over here. We wanted to make it go through the hood, but we can't change the hood. So this is what we came up with. Never mind, we decided to work on it. I'll show you. So this is the data. This is our carbon hood that we're releasing. The biggest difference that we have is a lot of indent here and have a power bulge in the center. And also, if you look at the original G87 M2, this line was a little bit higher, about 15 millimeters higher. We dropped it down to make it this sleek look from the side. Now back to the video. Fading the edges naturally around the emblem, giving it a 3D shape to the grille. So that was kind of our solution, which I think is way more natural than the G87 M2 bumper. So keep in mind this 3D printed bumper that we decided to rework again. It's not just the outer. If you go to the back, every single part was engineered to fit the G87 M2. All of these grills, all the center grills, the side grills, even the tow hitch cover, every single part was engineered. Outer bumper, inner bumper, everything, even the sensors.
Little details.
Little details, AA, there's a numbering in there, all the taps, all the inner bumper, how they integrate. It was a really tough decision to scratch this and work on a V2. I definitely think it was worth it. That's why it took us so long to develop this bumper. At Adro, we don't want to come up with something A-. We always strive for A+. So if we're not happy about something, we're not afraid to go from scratch. And hopefully you guys can feel it in the end result, end product. Yes, this is our final version of the G87 M2 from Adro.